Stephen Constantine put up a brave face after a disappointing loss to a young all-white sides and blamed the loss on individual errors. But in a stunning fashion, he claimed that if he would have wanted to take a point, he could have, but with a different side. India started with 7 changes to that of the starting 11 of the previous 2 matches. The Indian gaffer, however, defended the decision and said that this is all a preparation for the Asian Cup and a learning curve for his side. Constantine also lamented the defending slip-ups, saying, "When you win 2 games, you maybe get carried away. New Zealand were a young and disciplined side. We made mistakes but didn't start as we do. Individual errors cost us today. But it's not the end of the world. We knew we were more or less in the final unless we lost 4-0 or 5-0, which wasn't going to happen. The job was done after the 2 matches." When asked about the massive shake-up to the starting 11, compared to that of the last 2 matches, he said, the changes, was always going to happen. We are using this tournament and the games before the AFC Asian Cup to prepare for the Asian Cup. You can't rely on 11 players to play from now until the end of January, next year. We have always got to change the team. Obviously it was not the result that we would have wanted, but it was important that some of the younger players got an opportunity to play. 22-year-old Salam Roger Singh debuted as the centre-back and the young, agile Ashik Karuya was operating through the left flank. However, Ali Borgs, Mode Rafiq and Arya Das were the other players coming in, who cannot be really termed as young, and not obviously who needed an opportunity to play. Indian football fans have become quite used to seeing them in national colours for the last couple of years, and so thus it brings a great debate onto the table regarding which all players are in Constantine's scheme of AFC Asian Cup starting 11, as Aradhapa and Pruy Halder have emerged as the clear favourites in the midfield over some of the more experienced players in the squad. The Englishman gave a hint on this regard when he said, "Judge was never going to play after we won the first 2 games. Neither was Jigar or Anas or Holy, Artsari, going to play. I also didn't want to play Suhail. They did their job and we got 6 points from first 2 games. It was time for some others to come forward and stake a claim for their place. Some did, some didn't." Mode Rafiq, who came in the place of Udita Singh, looked woefully out of place until he was put out of his misery before the half-an-hour mark. Constantine went on to admit that the East Bengal midfielder was definitely struggling and not due to any sort of injury. Constantine, then, went on to state a bold statement which sounded astonishing, as he said, "Looking forward we would have to think about how to fix the problems we faced today. But the job was already done, win the first 2 games. If I needed to take a point from this game today, trust me, we would have taken the point. I would have gone with a completely different side." This statement sparks the question,